Hey everyone, so today we're going to be learning about the vertical line test. It is directly related to what we talked about in the last lesson, which is identifying if something is a function or not. So the vertical line test is a really great tool when we are in this unit. Okay, so what is the vertical line test? It's a test performed on graphs to determine if the relation is a function or not. So we're only going to be looking at graphs today. So, how to use the vertical line test. What we do is when we're given a graph, we're going to draw a straight vertical line down the graph. Now, two things can happen. One, if that line, that vertical line, hits it one time, it's a function. That means that the x values are not repeating. So this is just a visual way to see if the x values repeat. So if it hits once, that means the x values don't repeat and it's a function. What can also happen is that the line can hit more than once. That would mean that the x values are repeating, so that makes this not a function. Okay, so vertical line, if it hits once, it's a function. If it hits more than once, it is not a function. So let's look at some examples so we can get a better idea of what this looks like. Okay, graphs, function or not. So here we have this first graph, has a little curve here. So we're going to perform the vertical line test. So like I said, I'm going to just draw a straight line. I see that it only hits once. So it passes here. It only hits once. It only hits once. It only hits once. So it has to only hit once on every part of this graph. So it only hits once every time I draw a line. So that means this is a function. Okay, let's look at this example. So here I have two curvy lines going in different directions. So I'm going to draw a vertical line. Hopefully you see it hits once, twice, two times. Please also do not include the x and the y axes here. That is not part of what we're testing. Those are always going to be there. So this does not count right here. It's only the relation. So we see that it hits the line twice here. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep testing. So if I look here, actually I'm going to do that one more time just so you can get a clear idea of what I'm trying to do. If I draw a line right here, we can see that it really only hits once. But because it hit twice here, this is not a function. Same thing's going on over here. It hits twice. It hits twice. It's hitting more than once, so that makes this not a function. So it has to pass the vertical line test at every part of the graph. And I'm going to just do this in blue so you can see. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. It's hitting two times in several different places, not a function. Okay, let's look at this example. So same thing, if it's asking me if it's a function, I'm going to go ahead and draw my vertical line. Hits once. It's once. It's once. Here it's not even hitting anything. It's once. It's once. So this is a function. It's only hitting one time throughout this whole graph. So it is a function. And the last one, we can see here. Try to draw it a little straighter. Hits once, but when we go through the circle, it hits twice. So automatically not a function. Okay, so the vertical line test is really easy to use as long as you remember that you're drawing vertical lines straight up and down, not horizontal lines. And you just have to remember that rule. If it hits one time, it's a function. If it hits more than one time, so 2, 3, 4, whatever, more than one time, it is not a function.